A very good afternoon to everyone present here. Myself, Dr. Kaushik Saikia, on behalf of the organizing committee and MARYAM AJMAL Women College of Science and Technology, welcome you all the dignitaries, all the key resource persons and participants to our 3-day international online workshop. This is the second day afternoon session. In this session, we are also having two talks. I am pleased to take this opportunity to introduce the speaker of the first talk in this session, Dr. Basanta Saikia. Dr. Basanta Saikia is currently working as a postdoctoral research associate at the Max Planck Institute for Dynamics of Complex Technical System, Magdeburg, Germany. Dr. Saikia received his PhD from the Department of Chemical Sciences, the ESPO University. During his PhD, he also availed the prestigious Common 12 split seat scholarship for which he worked at the Durham University, United Kingdom. His current research interest is the pharmaceutical crystallization engineering and and a heterogeneous nucleation. So today, Dr. Saikia will give talk on the topic recent trend in the drug discovery and drug development and a brief overview. So I would like to invite Dr. Basanta Saikia to deliver his talk, and with this brief introduction, I would like to invite Dr. Basanta Saikia to deliver his talk, and a humble request to all the participants, and don't click any site which is asking for payment for this webinar, as this webinar is free of cost. Thank you to all. So over to Dr. Basanta Saikia. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saikia, for your kind introduction. So at first, I would like to, can you hear me? Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible. The voice is loud and clear.
Are you able to share the screen?
Yeah, I am going to share the screen. Wait for me.
Hello. Dr. Basanta Saikia, are you able to share the screen?
Yeah, I'm going to share it. So can you see my screen?
No, sir. It is not visible.
Sorry.
Dr. Saikia, your video is coming, but your audio, please
Present.
try. Okay, please try to share your screen.
Yeah, can you see the screen?
No, not yet. Not yet. Yeah, it is coming now. It is coming now. Yes, it is coming.
Okay. So,
Okay,
Dr. Saikia, thank you for the kind introductions. So, very good afternoon to all. And at first, I would like to thank the organizing committee for inviting me to present the work that recent trends in drug discovery and development, a brief overview. So, these are the outlines. In this talk, I will try to give an overview of what is a drug, types of different pharmaceutical products, what are the importance of disease target, how the industry has evolved, how the drug discovery and process of getting a drug to market have happened. So I will just try to give you a brief overview. So hope you will enjoy it. So now, what is drug? So most of us, we consume drug. So in general, a drug is a product that alleviates, cures, or prevents disease or is intended to affect the structure of a function of the body. So in simple terms, a chemical substance that interacts with living systems and produces a biological response to cure a disease, particular disease. So let me give you a brief history of pharmaceutical industry. The early stages, these people, particularly Egyptian, Greek, Chinese, and Indians, has huge contributions towards early stage of pharmaceutical industry. That is for all the herbs and all these things. And then gradually the industry evolves. People move to plant-derived medicines such as morphine, quinine, and picoline in 1875. Then the evolutions, the next hormones came, then the evolutions, antibiotic evolutions, and psychoactive drugs came in 1945 to 1960, and we got many drugs such as penicillin, valium, etc. And from 1960, the modern drug discovery and all these pharmaceutical relevant things are happening more and more, and we are getting more and more drug for the treatment of defined metabolic disorder from 1960 to current date. So the question is, how does a drug work? So at first, people were unknown, how does a drug work? But in 1908, Paul Ehrlich get this Nobel Prize for the work that he has proposed the lock and key model, where an active drug can act as a key, and the active site of enzyme or receptor can act as a lock. So most of the nowadays drugs are based on this model, that is lock and key model. And the another questions come: who discovers drug? So doctors, no, actually doctors not solely take the credit for synthesizing or discovering a drug. So the drug discovery involves different stages. First, you have to identify. In this stage, biology involved. Then you have to validate and prioritize the drug, pharmacological and chemistry involved. Then identify and optimize the lead molecules. Here, chemistry and pharmacology involved. Then preclinical study has to done, and here the chemistry, pharmacologically and toxicology as well as biology involved, and formulations of the drug is done by pharmaceutical sciences, and finally the clinical evaluations of the produced drug is done by medicine. That is, doctors are responsible for clinical evaluation, and the drug manufacture will be done by chemical engineer and chemist. So this is a very famous cartoon from 1957. It was published in the New Yorker magazine. That's Dr. Arnold Murray. He's conducting an experiment to test the theory that most great scientific discoveries were hit on by accident, but we can't rely on accident or serendipitous results. So we need to have a rational design strategy. So this is the drug design cycles. Traditionally, we relied on classical pharmacological cycle, or nowadays we have relied on reverse pharmacological cycles. What happens? You have to, in classical pharmacological system, you just get some compounds and you do primary assay, high throughput in vitro studies, then you will go for the secondary study, bioavailability study, and then clinical candidate. You will get the clinical candidate. But in the first phase, you will just first identify the target, identify the biological target. Based on that, you will design and synthesize the drug, and then you will do the primary assay, that is high throughput screening in vitro, and then you will go through for bioavailability study, and finally it will go to a clinical trial. So this is the pharmacological So this is the pharmacological. So this is the pharmacological approach we people applied. First, this is the pharmacology. This classical pharmacology.
Sorry, sir.
Hello.
Please resume your screen, sir. Someone else presented. Your screen is not visible, sir.
Hello, is my screen is visible or not?
It is not visible, sir. Please resume your presentation, sir.
No, it is visible now, Gupta. Now it is visible, I think.
Can you say, please?
Rahul.
No, I can't see because someone else has presented. After that, sir had to again resume it.
It is visible.
Go on, sir. It is visible, sir. Go on, please.
Visible. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Can you see me now? Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Basanta.
Okay.
Visible. Yeah.
So actually, drug design based on different pharmacological approach. One approach is, as I have already mentioned, it's classical pharmacological approach, which is also known as forward pharmacology or phenotypic drug discovery, relies on phenotypic screening. That is, screening is intact cell or whole organism of chemical libraries of synthetic small molecules or natural products to identify the substance that has desirable therapeutic effect. Another pharmacological approach is reverse pharmacology, where a hypothesis is that first made the modulations of the activity of a specific protein target, which will be beneficial for therapeutic effect. Screening of chemical libraries of small molecules is then used to identify compounds that bind to its high affinity to the target. This hit from this screen are then used as starting points for drug discovery. Sorry?
Sorry, sir, your screen is actually not visible. Please resume your presentation. Under presentation, resume your presentation, sir. It is resume your presentation.
Can you see the screen? Somebody is saying that screen is not visible. Is the screen is visible for all?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
It is.
No,
it's
sir.
Coming, Rahul.
Yeah, someone is continuously saying the screen is not visible. Screen is not visible. I'm not getting it actually.
Yes, it is very much visible, sir.
Yeah. So, so can I move to? Yeah. So we need to have a rational design. So in reverse pharmacology, what will happen? We first identify the target, then based on that target, we design the drug. So for the rational design, we need to have some set of rule. And in 1997, based on the observations of most orally drug administered relatively small and moderately lipophilic molecules, Lipinski proposed this rule of 5, which is also known as Pfizer's rule of 5. According to this rule, a drug molecule should have no more than 5 hydrogen bond donor and not more than 10 hydrogen bond acceptor. The drug molecule should have molecular mass less than 500 daltons, and the log p value should not exceed 5. So this is the structure of omeprazole, which follows this Lipinski rule of 5. But however, the rule doesn't predict if a compound is a pharmacologically active or not. We need to go through different pharmacological screening for find out that a compound will pharmacologically active or not. So what kind of drugs are ideal? So ADME is an abbreviation of in pharmacokinetics and pharmacology for absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, and the depositions of pharmaceutical compound within an organs. These four criteria all influence the drug levels and kinetics of drugs exposure to the tissues, and hence influence the performance and pharmacological activity of the compound of a drug. Sometimes liberation and toxicity are also considered, yielding LADME, ADMET, or LADMET. So we need to make sure that the drug we synthesize, the compound which we synthesize should be.
Dr. Basanta,
Yeah.
sorry. Actually, your screen is not visible now. You have to click somewhere resume presentation. Please sit here.
Okay.
Please sit here.
No, sir, your screen is visible to me actually.
So it's showing that stop sharing. It's already visible probably. It's showing stop sharing.
Yes, it is visible. I think Rahul has some problem.
Rahul Gupta.
Sir, actually you do one thing,
Rahul,
stop
available?
presentation and again present, sir. Actually it is not visible, sir.
Basanta, you do one thing, you stop presentation and start again. Basanta, it is coming now? Or Rahul Gupta, is it coming now?
Yes, it's okay, sir. It's okay now.
Okay, Basanta, it is coming now, but your sound is not coming. Please unmute your sound. Basanta, your sound is not coming. Basanta, Dr. Basanta Saikia. Okay.
Yeah.
Coming now.
Yeah. Can you see?
Yeah. Sure. You can continue.
Yeah. So what are the process to getting a drug to market? So it's not an easy process. It involves different stages. First, you have to find out the proper drug. First, you have to target a disease. Then you have to find out possible drug candidates. Then you need to do preclinical testings. So in R&D, research and development, it will take around 1 to 3 years. Then comes the clinical research and development stage. It will take at least 2 to 10 years. So average, it takes at least 5 years. So it involves 3 stages. Phase 1, phase 1 involves healthy volunteers. Phase 2, small patients go. Phase 3, larger patients go. And then it will finally go to regulatory approval. Then for the gov agencies such as Food and Drug Administrations generally gives this approval, and based on the prior studies, and sometimes they also did the study by themselves also. So it takes almost 2 to 10 years. Then in phase 4, this is long-term monitoring. So after the drug market available in the market, so people will do the monitoring. How does it work, or what are the toxicological activity of this drug or not? So these are the drug development process. So in clinical trials, faces different things. First, the samples are randomized. Then you will do they do placebo testing, then blinded. Then they do some particular study size at clinical phase 1. The study size is low. It's around 80 to 20 to 30 people, but they usually increase the study size. But at each phases, many drugs fails in present day scenario, only 33% drugs are coming out as safe. So it's not a cost-effective process. The question is, from where we get the drugs? So in present day scenario, most of the drugs are coming from chemical industry. That is, most of the drugs are synthesized in synthesized chemical compounds, and 16% are coming from biological sources. 8% the substance such as Ayurvedic medicines. 8% are coming from nature, and 2% from elsewhere. So national products plays a major role still for drug industry. So we can screen national products based on plants, microbes, the marine world, and animals. All provide a rich source of structurally complex national products. But how do we extract these materials? Generally, we use solvent extraction method, which was discovered by Swedish chemist Carl Wilhelm Skelling, and this method is also in 1742 to 1786. This method is still in use with some chromatographic techniques for purification. So this is an example, classic example of Cinchona Bark, from where we can get natural drug sources. So in the 17th century, in South America, people were using the bark of cinchona tree as a cure of malaria. And in 1820, the main ingredient of this, the main drug ingredient is isolated. And in 1907, Paul Revell proposed the correct structure of quinine, and in a revolutionary total synthesis, Woodward proposed the drug through this revolutionary total synthesis method. For this synthesis, he has got Nobel Prize. Then how does this drug evolve? So based on the structural related derivatives, scientists make other compounds based on the structural related derivatives, and we get more drugs based on the quinine derivatives such as chloroquine, mefloquine, or hydroxychloroquine. So this approach is not common now. So we can't rely on only nature. So we need because we are every day we are facing new diseases. So we need to find out more compounds which are pharmacologically active. So we need to synthesize more compounds. So scientists involved in structure-based drug design. So basically, pharmaceutical companies have prepared thousands of compounds. So they screen these compounds for different kinds of diseases, and sometimes they use the copy paste techniques, that is Me-too techniques, for synthesizing of another drug compound. The design is based on the drug which already exists, which is existing in lead, but defined enough to avoid patent restriction. Sometimes this kind of new copy structure can lead to a dramatic improvement in biological activity or pharmacokinetic profiling. So, for example, penicillin. This penicillin was first discovered in 1941. Based on the structural motif of this penicillin, people synthesize this kind of compound, which prevents the cross-linking between proteins and therefore cell wall synthesis. And this penicillin G or amoxicillin shows better pharmacokinetic behavior than the parent drug penicillin. So people start synthesizing new drug based on structure. So another approach is chemical mimic type poisons. For example, this para-aminobenzoic acid, this is kind of a nutrient of drug. So people try to mimic this nutrient, and they have synthesized different sulfur drug in 1935. And these drugs are historically important because before 1935 there was a disparate need for antibiotics as bacterial infection represented a leading cause of death. The sulfur drug presented the first highly effective antibiotics and saved thousands of lives, including those of Winston Churchill and Franklin Roosevelt Jr. So based on this structural activity relationship, people start to synthesize many different drugs. One example is aspirin. This aspirin is inspired from nature also. First, this aspirin was powder form of bark and leaves of willow tree to help heal headaches and fevers. People were using it from ages. And in 1899, Hoffman formulated and patented this drug. And based on the structure of aspirin, more and more drugs are coming out. These are the aspirin substitute and with different blending. Similarly, people, based on the scaffold of the drugs, people try to use combinatorial library, and they try to synthesize as many as molecules so that they can screen these drugs for screen this molecule for pharmacological assay or pharmacological screening. But now, what are the challenges that are facing by the pharmaceutical industries? So there are many challenges. The main problem is that the pharmaceutical industry is short of new drugs. So generally, to get an approval for a new drug, it almost needs 10,000 compounds. Out of 10,000 compounds synthesized, only 250 compounds goes for preclinical studies. Then only 5 compounds are successful from the preclinical studies. From the 5 compounds, only 1 compound get approval with a time span of more than 10 years. So it's definitely not a cost-effective process, and the research cost of a new drug are estimated to be around $1 to $1.5 billion. It's a huge money involved. And moreover, the drugs which are available in the markets are having some issues, such as 40% of the drugs are solubility and stability problems. 80% of the drugs which are also already in the pipelines are also have some issues. So we need to have some method. It's a necessity to find out the remedy to modify the drug physiochemical properties of this drug. For example, chirality plays an important role of drug behavior. So what is the presence of an asymmetric or chiral carbon atom in a molecule results in 2 different optical isomer or enantiomer. So 2 different enantiomer can behave in different ways in the body. The most famous example is the difference is found in with thalidomide. So this is the Bark defect caused by thalidomide. What happened actually? This is the structure of thalidomide. So it's a prescribed drug from 1956 to 1962. What happened? 10,000 children were born with different physical disadvantages, such as malformation. Probably you can see these pictures. And here is the article coming out for the safety for the disaster that caused by thalidomide. Why this disaster happened? Because the R-thalidomide is active, whereas this S-thalidomide is tetragenic. So the same compound, based on the chirality, it can have adverse effects. So we need to find out a better formulations of this drug, and we need to find out a way how to purify these drug molecules. Similarly, another drug, TAXOL. These drugs, only this chiral drug, this chirality is acceptable as drug, and is highly effective against cancer. But these drug molecules is coming out from Pacific EU3, but there is not a sufficient supply to demand. So this, so if it's a requirement to synthesize more and more TAXOLs, but to an easy synthesis is required. Using several easy synthesis is required for these molecules, so it will be a revolutionary approach. So as you can see, the chiral resolution is important. So people start using different techniques for resolution of chirality. One technique is kinetic, that is enzymatic and chemical approach. Another is crystallization approach, and chromatography is another approach for getting enantiomerically pure compounds. In our lab also, we are involved in this kind of studies. So as I have already mentioned, that already existing drugs are having some issues related to physiochemical properties. So it's necessary to find out a better solid formulations of drugs, and these are some solid form of existing drugs that can be obtained. For example, pharmaceutical solid selections is based on these issues that it should have higher solubility or higher purity than the existing drug, and it should the particle we can control the particle size as well as mechanical property. We should have better physiochemical properties for the solid modifications of the existing drug. So so generally people using drug salt as a modifications of the existing drug to as a remedy for these issues relates to solubility and physiochemical behavior. Many compounds that are pharmacologically important are large complex organic molecules that are not very polar and have very low solubility. So it's necessary to find out a better option for higher solubility of this drug. And there are ionic salts, either sodium salts or hydrochloride salts, are used to make them more stable, more soluble. These are the most common drug salts that are marketed, that are found in market. So you can see most of them are hydrochloride or sodium salt. So this is aspirin. Generally aspirin is available in the market in sodium salt form. Same with sertraline also. Sertraline is an amine compound that is converted to hydrochloride salt to make it more soluble. So another issue involved in drug is polymorphism. So what is polymorphism? The polymorphism is the term that is derived from Greek word poly, which means many, and morph implies form. Hence, polymorphism refers to different structural form of a chemical substance. So a drug can also have different structural form. So these polymorphic form of drugs differ in physiochemical properties like dissolution and solubility, chemical and physical stability, flowability, and hygroscopicity. But these forms also differ in various important drug outcomes like drug efficacy and bioavailability and even toxicity. So it's imperative to find out better polymorph of a drug molecules. For example, this was a disaster for this drug, ritonavir. This is ritonavir, a HIV drug manufactured by Abbott Laboratory. They marketed drug polymorphic form 1, and what happened? This polymorphic form 1 transformed to polymorphic form 2 with time, which has 5-fold decrease in solubility, and this drug precipitated out. So this Abbott has had to withdraw this drug from the market, and they have to reformulate this drug. So it's essential to find out the better solid formulations, better polymorphic form of the drug for higher efficacy as well as higher bioavailability. So another aspects of solid formulation is cocrystal. What is cocrystal? A cocrystal is nothing but a solid state assembly of two or more compounds that help together by intermolecular interaction, particularly hydrogen bond. Suppose we take two materials A and B together. If we mix them, there are different aspects. There may not different probabilities. There may not be any changes, or they may react to give a new product, or they may interact via different intermolecular interaction to give a cocrystal. So which kind of intermolecular interaction involve hydrogen bond pi stacking and van der Waals forces, specially which relies on hydrogen bond because it's directional in nature. This directional in nature. So probably we know caffeine is the ingredient of caffeine, especially if we observe, if we keep coffee in outside, it will get sticky. So what is the cause of stickiness of coffee? Because of the caffeine. So caffeine is very hygroscopic. So co-crystallization can be a remedy of caffeine hydration. How? By lock and key model, similar this hydrogen bond will interact with this pyrimidine imidazole nitrogen, and it will just stop the hydration behavior of the caffeine. So we can apply crystal technology as a remedy of caffeine hydration. Similarly, we can improve the solubility and physiochemical properties of the existing drugs. For example, this is the chemistry of turmeric powder, that is haldi. So these are the active ingredients present in haldi: curcumin, dimethoxycurcumin, and base dimethoxycurcumin. The color of haldi is because of this ketoenol tautomerism. Despite the diverse pharmacological activity of this bioactive phenol, that is curcumin, its application as a drug is severely limited by poor aqueous solubility. So what is the remedy for that? For that, co-crystal can be a remedy. For example, here is an example of fast dissolving curcumin co-crystal. What happened? The people tried to crystallize out curcumin and another biologically acceptable molecules such as resorcinol or pyrogalol, and they synthesized to define co-crystal for curcumin, and found out that the co-crystal for curcumin with resorcinol or pyrogalol have significantly higher solubility and dissolution behavior than the drug. So this is patented literature, and it's under clinical trial too. These co-crystals are under clinical trial too. So these works are done from Hyderabad University, India. So similarly, in another drug, Antesto came in 2005. This was developed by Novartis and approved by FDA. So it is a co-crystal of secobarbital and valsartan. It's a prescribed medicine used for the reduced risk of death and hospitalization in people with certain types of long-lasting chronic drug failure. So it's a success story of co-crystallization. So finally, what are the generic drugs? This drug, a new drug, involves with patents, so the drug cost is very high. However, generic drugs means the drugs which patents are already expired and which can be developed by other companies. So generic drugs are comparable to brand name drugs, must have the same dosage form, strength, safety, quality, performance, intended use according to FDA. So these are the examples of some generic drugs available in Indian market with very less price. So generally patented drug have higher price, whereas patented drug, that is branded drug, has higher price, whereas in generic drugs in the drug cost is less. So in summary, so we can say for drug designing, we need to have this goal, that is safety, efficacy, and it should have affordability. The portfolio should be very small and less expensive and less challenging. What are the main players of drug discovery? This involves scientists, pharmacologists, definitely food and drug administrations, and patients. What are the challenges? There definitely it's difficult to understand how the body works, and difficult to predict a drug how it will work in human. So it definitely needs various innovation which can facilitate by growing scientific knowledge and facilitated by new technology. And finally, let me show you what kind of work we are doing in our laboratory. We are doing from renewable natural products to synthetic mixtures to valuable targets. Especially, we try to extract different kind of drugs from natural products by simpler methods for separation of purification available. And we are involved in de-racemalization of already available toxic drugs. So we try to formulate different drugs in cost-effective way in our laboratory. So finally, thank you all. Thank you all for your patient sharing, hearing.
Thank you, Dr. Basanta Saikia. Thank you very much for your very informative and very helpful presentations, which has which have told many things regarding the drug discovery and development of recent drugs. So we would like to have some questions which will be answered by Dr. Basanta Saikia. We expect some questions from the participants. So you can write your questions in the chat room, or you can ask your question individually, one by one. So we are waiting for questions now. Dr. Basanta Saikia, I have a basic questions. Can you tell me regarding the vaccine of coronavirus, why it is taking so much time? Means what is the different steps in finding the medicine or drug for related to virus? And can you say something?
To be honest, I don't have that much expertise on vaccines, but still I know some basics. So basically, in our institute, they are also involved in this kind of research. We have a dedicated vaccine research group in MPI Magdeburg. So they are also involved in the studies. First, what you have to do, you have to find out the target, that is target in the virus. So fortunately, within 1 month, people publish the crystal structure of this virus. But as I have already said, I'm not sure though that the virus can be mutated. But though the crystal structure of this virus is already available, already published, but it can have defined mutations. So you need to deal with all kind of mutations, and again then you can propose and synthesize an idea. Then scientists have done scientists have proposed and synthesized different kind of vaccines based on the structural moiety of the virus. But virus can have different mutations, and with mutations the effectiveness of the vaccine may change. So first you need to identify the drug candidate, then you need to go for a clinical trial. And generally, as I have already mentioned, the clinical trial is a lengthy process. It takes ages, well, at least 10 years or 5 to 6 years. So we should not expect a miracle in this case also, in this case for coronavirus also, because you need to go through the procedure for getting an approval without having the pharmacokinetics study, without having the without studying the toxicity or behavior, without completing these clinical trials, we can't expect anything. So it will take time. Hopefully, we can expect a vaccine that within this year.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Saikia, for your answer. So another question, it was asked by Preeti Kormakar. She asked, how do prepared drugs are purified? The drugs which are prepared, how they are purified? She has asked.
Yeah, actually, this is a very nice question. Especially, you can use different analytical techniques such as chromatography, but the chromatography is very expensive. High performance liquid chromatography. It's not a cost effective process. Generally, what people are trying to do, they do crystallization. So crystallization is an effective technique for purification of drug, and definitely solvent extraction. And there are many processes, but if you get a solid materials which are crystalline, so crystallization is a very effective technique. I don't think thin layer chromatography people are before thin layer chromatography was using, but I'm not sure it's using now also, because we have more advanced technique for purifications of drug.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Saikia. B-Shetri, he asks, why cost of generic medicine is too?
That I have already explained. But the cost of generic medicine is less because if for a branded drug, it involves the patent liability, and the company can there is only one sole company which can which can synthesize and which can formulate this drug, and this but for a generic drug, the patent is already expired. So any company who can prepare this drug, and the patent liability is no more. So that's why the cost of generic drugs are less than a branded drug. Hope I can answer this question.
Okay. Another question, Pretty Kumar has again asked about the thin layer chromatography. Can you elaborate regarding this?
Yeah. Actually, I already explained it in the same.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Basanta Saikia, for your very nice presentations, and your very importantly for your giving us your valuable time. So we hope we will have you in future also in this this sort of webinar. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saikia, for inviting me. So definitely I'll try my best to help. Being an Assamese, so I think it's my duty to help other fellow Assamese. So if you have any questions or if you have any query, probably you can just email me. So probably my email address is already there. So I will try my best to help you out. So being an Assamese, I feel this responsibility.
Yes. Our participants can also take your help in these different regards. Okay, regarding the research.
I will try to help from my capacity.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saikia, for your presentations and for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now we are going to the second talk. So now I will hand over this to Shehnaz Sultana for continuing this session. Shehnaz.
Thank you, Kaushik, sir, for. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Shehnaz, you are audible.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Dr. Basanta sir. It was a very delightful and wonderful session. It was really delightful and wonderful session. We really loved what sir. Really, it has been very helpful for us at this time, right? So our next speaker is Mr. Bamkin Baruah, and he will be about a very relevant field which are that is about GIS. Session about GPS, GIS, and other such things that is remote sensing, geographic information system, and global system. Sir will be talking about that, Mr. Bamkin Baruah. And talking about Bamkin Baruah, he is a specialist in this field. Mr. Bamkin Baruah has approximately 6 years of experience in the field of remote sensing and geographical information systems. He is working as a consultant in Aranyak. Am I being audible here?
Yes.
Sir, yeah, am I being audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, in Aranyak, a scientific and research organization since July 2019. Previously, he worked as a project coordinator in the Geospatial Applications Division of Aranyak from May 2017 to June 2019. He has also worked as a junior research fellow at Department of Geography, Mangalore College under a DSP-sponsored project entitled Analysis of Forest Cover Change Dynamics, Assessment of Elephant Habitat Suitability in Garo Hills District of Meghalaya, India. He has worked in NESAC for 3 months. And he has also done his another project on erosion and deposition of river bank in Darang and Udalguri districts of Assam, India, by the title Geo-Environmental Impact, River Systems in Darang and Udalguri districts of Assam, RS and GIS approach. So, since we'll be having such an eminent person amongst us, before that, I would like to welcome our student, Sumaya, who will be speaking on about our college a bit. So, Sumaya, please, she would like to share her views about this workshop in our college. So, I call on Sumaya. Hello, Sumaya, are you there? Sumaya?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there, yes.
Yeah. Please welcome Sumaya. Our student would like to say something.
Namaskar, Adab, Sat Sri Akal, and a very warm good morning, good evening to one and all present over here. I, Sumaya Laskar, a proud graduating student, heartily welcome to all the eminent personalities, dignitaries, and participants who conjoined us across the globe. As we all know that today we have assembled here on the 3-day international workshop on capacity building, redesigning the learning and research aptitudes organized by MARYAM AJMAL Women's College of Science and Technology and in collaboration with AJMAL Law College run by AJMAL Foundation, a charitable trust under the leadership of an honorable trustee, Maulana Badruddin Ajmal and his family. Well, as this webinar is all about capacity building, learning and research, then it wouldn't be justified if I don't take the privilege of sharing my views of the very indispensable part of my life, and definitely which is one of the top college of Northeast, MARYAM AJMAL Women's College of Science and Technology, which has been established intending to pursue higher education in science at an affordable cost, cutting across the expenses of expensive education. Our institution has always ensured to promote for a clean and vital environment to protect wildlife and plant species, to preserve an eco-friendly environment. We often make our visit to various wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, organizations in the name of excursion. Apart from this, our institution imports a significant role in promoting towards social justice in discrimination based on caste, color, gender, or religion under the instructions of a very versatile institution, AJMAL Law College, by organizing time-to-time seminars and programs. I'm indeed delighted to share my views that the institution offers magic in the form of art infrastructure, smart classes, ICT labs, wearing all the equipment, integrated library facilities, promoting art, sports, and various all sorts of extracurricular activities, ensuring all-round development of a student. The very purpose of our institution is to impart advanced foundational skills, and it serves an unique opportunity to mobilize action around each global specific topic of concern. Well, last but not the least, on behalf of all the student community, I would like to pay my gratitude for organizing this live event. I wrap up my speech thanking you all and wish a grand success to this webinar. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Sumaya, for your wonderful speech. And thank you so much for sharing your views. Well, Bamkin sir is here amongst us. Mr. Bamkin Baruah.
Yes.
Sir, welcome.
Yes.
Sir, am I audible to you?
Yeah, I am audible. Am I also audible there?
Hello, Bamkin sir.
Hello, are you hearing me? Hello, are you hearing me?
Hello, Bamkin sir. Are you there?
Yeah, I am here. I am here. Hello, are you hearing me? Hello, 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 are you hearing me? Hello, hello.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Yes, yes, sir. We are hearing you. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, but your sound is very low.
Yeah, Bamkin sir, your sound is very low.
Yeah, I have tried, but what I don't know what is going on here. Actually.
Sir, could you please put on a headphone? I guess that would help.
Sir is using headphone only.
Hello, hello. Am I hearing? Am I audible now? Hello. Hello. Am I audible now? Hello. Hello.
Sir, your sound is very low.
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Hello. Am I audible now? Am I audible?
I think, sir, headphone is problem. Sir should remove his headphone and try
yes,
again.
Sir, please try that.
Am I audible now? Am I audible now?
Sir, you are audible, but your voice is very low.
Okay.
Yes,
sir. You try to remove your headphone and try to speak.
I have removed my headphone. I have removed my headphone. Hello.
Sir, but still there is problem, sir.
So I actually what is going on? I don't know. Let's see again. Hello. Am I audible now? Hello. Hello. Am I audible now?
Sir, you're audible, but your voice is still low, sir. Can you increase the
Yeah, I have increased the volume, but it was not working. What to do? Am I audible now? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible, but your screen is not shared completely.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Coming on.
Am I audible now? Still low, or I am audible now? Hello. Am I still audible or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your sound is coming. Your sound is coming.
Your sound is coming, sir, but just it's low. That's what.
Okay. Is it a problem? It will be a problem of what? Actually, I don't have. I have tried 2 headphones. Still not working. Hello.
Hello, ma'am. I think if you use headphone, you can hear, sir.
Yeah, I have used it now.
No. All the participants, if they use headphone, they can hear, sir. Because I am using headphone now, I can hear, sir, nicely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In earphones, sir, sound is coming. You can proceed for the presentation, sir.
Please bear with me now. Hello.
Sir, your sound is coming. All the participants should use earphone if they are having with them now.
Hello.
So, sir, you can proceed for presentation, sir.
One thing I can do. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. Ah. Okay. Okay. How? Okay. To form two place. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Do you know what's link? Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, sir will solve the problem. Just give us 30 seconds.
Soon. Hello. Sorry. Hello, am I hearing? Am I audible now? Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible. You are audible, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, as all of you know, I'm Bamkin Baruah. I'm going to present. Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible? Anyone? Am I audible?
Sir, your sound is coming, though it is
Yes.
low, but you can proceed your presentation, sir, with your presentation.
In mobile. Hello.
We request all the participants to use earphone or headphones.
Hello. Yeah. I have joined with mobile also. Yeah, I have put my head. Yeah, say. Okay.
Sir will join with his mobile phone, and I think then problem will solve, and he will present in his laptop.
Participants to be with us, please. Sir will be joining us shortly.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you're audible. Yes, sir, you're audible. Please proceed with the presentation, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Hello, sir. Your sound is mute. Please unmute yourself, sir. Please unmute
Sir,
yourself.
unmute from mobile, sir. Unmute yourself from mobile, sir.
Bamkin, sir, can you hear us? Sir, can you just please unmute yourself from your mobile, sir? Your presentation is clear, but we can't hear you, sir.
Hello, sir. Sir, please unmute. Sir, in your mobile, please unmute yourself when you speak.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir. Excellent.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect, sir. Please proceed with the presentation. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I am going to discuss a basic discussion on remote sensing, GIS and GPS. Am I audible still?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir,
You're
you're
audible.
audible.
Your voice is clear.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir.
It's
Yes,
clear,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, we are going to know what is remote sensing. So remote sensing means of collecting an information without being direct contact with the object. Remote sensing means to collect the information of an object without being direct or physical contact with the object. Remote sensing is defined as the acquisition and recording of information about an object without being in direct contact. So how we collect the data? So in this image, you can see the whole process of remote sensing and GIS. First of all, the source of energy. The source of energy is our sun. So when the sun rays enters into the Earth's surface, it again reflects back. The sun ray or the electromagnetic ray again reflect back. When it reflects back, we collect the with the help of space shuttle or satellite, artificial satellite. So this portion is the remote sensing portion. After that, if we process graphical or digital format with the help of analyze and interpret to the measures we see the same process So sun rays come, sun radiation from the sun, it comes to the earth, and the sensors are the so the platform, the sensor collect it and it send it to the ground, and from all of this we again use it. So what is magnetic?
So your sound is not clear.
Hello? Hello?
So your voice
Hello?
is breaking a bit. Yeah, now it's clear, sir. Please proceed.
Okay. You are not hearing still?
It's clear,
Hello?
sir. Now,
I'm
now
not
it's
hearing.
clear. It's clear now, sir. Please proceed now.
Okay, I understood. Okay. Now, what is electromagnetic radiation? So, electromagnetic radiation refers to the waves of the electromagnetic field propagating through space, carrying electromagnetic radiant energy. The energy may be radio wave, microwave, infrared light which are visible, ultraviolet, X-ray, and gamma ray. Now, you see this electromagnetic spectrum. So, the ray are the short wave, and the visible portion is only 0.4 to 0.7. Here we get the primary color blue, green, and red. After infrared, microwave,
Excuse me, sir.
Sir, you are not audible now, sir. You're not audible. Sir, can you hear me? You're not audible currently. Sir, we cannot hear you.
Sir, can you hear us? Bamkin,
Hello,
sir.
Can you hear us? Bamkin, sir? Sir, you're not audible at all, sir. Sir, your mic is muted, sir. Please unmute yourself. Sir, please, you're requested to unmute yourself. Sir,
Bamkin,
your
sir,
mic is on mute. Bamkin, sir? I request the participants to bear with us. Actually, sir is in an area working on some project, and that is why I think, you know, jungle and forest interruptions a bit. So please bear with us, participants.
उसको फोन कीजिए, उसका आवाज कुछ नहीं आ रहा, जल्दी कीजिए, जल्दी कीजिए.
Participants, I request you to bear with us. I hope you understand. Since I was working in an area about some project relating to GPS and also, I guess that's the reason why there's so much disturbance. Please bear with us. We're really hoping sir will provide us a very insightful session. So I request the participants to be patient. Thank you.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, sir. You are
Yes, sir.
audible now. Yes, sir.
You are audible now, sir. Yes, sir.
So, I was from where I have left. I actually forgot. From have you heard electromagnetic radiation? Hello.
Yes, sir. You
Have you heard
completed the portion of
electromagnetic?
electromagnetic radiation, yes, and then you proceeded a bit. Yeah.
Now we'll go to electromagnetic spectrum. So the gamma ray, X-ray, and ultraviolet ray are the short wave
So your
wavelength.
PPT is.
It is not working or what? Hello.
Sir, resume your
Yes,
presentation,
sir.
sir.
Please
Resume your
resume your
presentation.
presentation, sir. Yeah.
Someone else has
Okay,
presented.
okay.
That's why.
Okay, I understood. So, sorry for inconvenience. Hello.
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Okay. Are you seeing my presentation now? Is it visible now? Is it visible to everyone?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir. It's not visible.
Okay. Again, I have to wait for a minute. Is it now visible? Is it now visible?
No,
sir.
sir.
It is not
No,
visible,
sir.
sir.
No,
No, it's
no,
come, sir.
no. It's coming,
It is
sir.
visible, sir.
Yes, sir. It's visible now. Please continue, sir.
Spectrum. Here, the gamma ray, X-ray, ultraviolet ray are the short wave. After that, from 0.4 to 0.7 micron is the visible ray, and from there, infrared, microwave, TV, and radio wave are some of the long wave. So here, if you see, these are the region of the wavelength and their range, and the details are also given here. So this is the spectral reflectance and earth surface interaction graph. Here you will see the blue color, which is the reflectance from water. Here you will see from 0.5 to 0.9 it is usually decreasing, whereas the dotted brown color, it is gradually increasing, and at the last, if you see the green color, you'll see from 0.5 to 0.7 it gradually decreasing, but after 0.7 it has increased in a very high speed. So here starts the near infrared portion. Now from this graph you can see that the reflectance of vegetation is very high in the near infrared portion. Therefore, Whenever you see a satellite imagery, you will see a red color. The red color shows the vegetation. We generally give a red color to the near infrared portion so that we can see with our naked eyes and we can classify the vegetation clearly. Now, why we need a GIS? Why we need GIS? So, this is an island of Indonesia. Its name is Banda Aceh Island, and the image was taken on 12 December 2004 before the tsunami. So, on 25th December 2004, tsunami happened on Indonesia. So, after tsunami, if you see, this is the destruction of the tsunami. So you can see here there are several household, commercial buildings, roads, and in this image, which is of 27 December, everything has been vanished. So it became easy to understand with the help of image, and you can make understood to a layman also with the help of these images. Similarly, if you see this district, this is the district Golaghat from Assam, India. Here you will see the red color are the vegetation. So in 1974 there were 11 reserve forests in this area. But if you see on 1991, everything has been gone. Only a small portion of Nagaland and Karbi Anglong area, near Karbi Anglong area, was there. And if you see the image of 2004, you will see everything except this number area has gone. So it became easy to make understood to any general people. So we need remote sensing. Now, in remote sensing, we have satellites. We use satellites, and satellite runs on two different imaginary wave orbit. The first one is sun synchronized. In sun synchronized, a polar orbit where the satellite always crosses the equator the same local time. So, suppose Landsat is crossing the equator at 10:30 a.m. today, then it will continue every day. It will continue every day. So most of the Earth resource satellites are sun synchronized. For example, Landsat, Spot, Iconos, ALOS, QuickBird. And the second one is geostationary orbits or satellite. So this type of satellite are very high altitude, are placed in very high altitude, which view the same portion of the Earth's surface at all times. So it only see the same portion, whereas the sun synchronized rotates all over the Earth. So this type of satellite are generally used for meteorological application, communication application, for TV, television, for radio, etc. And these satellites are fixed on specific location, have the same speed as Earth rotation speed. It can cover a wide area, specially designed for weather monitoring. So these are the orbits. Now here you can see the polar or the sun synchronized is of 900 kilometer, whereas the geostationary are at 36,000 kilometer. So now the platform. Now why the vehicle? The vehicle or the carrier where the remote sensors are taken are known as platform. Platform may be the satellites, aircraft, balloons,
kites, and trucks, etc. So according to the elevation or the altitude, we determine or we use the platform. So if our elevation is 36,000 kilometer, we will use geostationary satellite. If the elevation is 500 to 1,000 kilometer, we will use geosynchronous satellite. And if the elevation is 240 to 350, we will use space shuttle. If the elevation is 10 to 12, we will use high altitude jet planes. If the elevation is only 1200 to 3500 meter, then we will use low and middle altitude airplanes. Or if it is of 100 to 100 kilometer, then we will use balloons. And for ground, we will use trucks, or we can do field survey, etc. So after that, the sensors. So a sensor or a remote sensor is a device to detect the electromagnetic radiation reflected or emitted from an object. Cameras or scanners are example of remote sensing sensors. So up to this portion is the remote sensing portion. So after that, GIS. Now what is GIS? So a system for input, storage, manipulation and output of geographic information. So it is used to input, storage or manipulate an output of geographic information. There are several classes of software used in GIS, and GIS are the combination of software, hardware, data, user, etc. to solve a problem, support a decision and help in planning. So the G, which is geographic, deals with the spatial or geographic features. I for information deals with the data, spatial or non-spatial. Now here we can combine both data, spatial and non-spatial. So the S for the deal, which deal with the integration of elements. Now if you see the historical setting and GIS evolution, first of all you will see the traditional mapping, which are manually drafted years ago. So this type of images were there at the time. Here the image may not be in scale, but after the development of computer in early 70s, this type of images, this type of maps came out, where we can put a correct projection, we can draw a map in scale now. So after that again spatial database management came out, where we can combine both traditional and computer mapping to get more information. These images are like that. So after that, the GIS modeling, where in the early 90s, GIS modeling starts, where everything can be done from now it becomes 2-dimension. Now it is not a 2-dimension, it becomes 3-dimension here. So this type of images came out, where you can plan very well. And nowadays we are using virtual GIS for planning. So now why GIS? If you have a question, why GIS? So if you see in the decision making process, 70% of the information includes some geographical facts. So that's why we use GIS. And GIS has the ability to assimilate divergent source of data, both spatial and non-spatial. For example, the spatial data are the lat long, and if you put the name here, if you put the location name, then it becomes the non-spatial data. So we can combine both. So if we search, we can get the lat long and also the name of the place. So it became easy whenever we use GIS. So visualization impact. A few minutes later, a few minutes before, I have shown you the images of Banda Aceh Kalam, Indonesia. So by seeing the image, you can see the terrific condition of the tsunami. So it became easy. The visualization impact is helpful. And the sharing of information is also easy in GIS. The analytical capability in a spatial context. Now, analytical capability increases in GIS. So, am I audible to all?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Please proceed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, now GIS. Now GIS. So, if you see, the real world consists of many geographies, which can be represented as a number of related data layers. So, in GIS, we can separate everything. Suppose the hydrology, the land use, the political boundary, topography, soil, everything can be separated. You can use according to your need. Again, we can combine everything for better result. So in GIS, we can separate into several layers from a single piece of information. We can separate several layers. So it becomes easy with the help of GIS. So one thing you have to remember is that GIS is not the decision-making tool. GIS is supporting for decision makers. So GIS cannot take any decision, but it helps in supporting the decision. So how GIS is helpful to us? So you may have a question, how GIS is helpful to us? So GIS is helpful to us by answering the 5 questions. By answering the 5 questions. First, the location. Suppose, where is the location? If you know the place name or if you know the lat long, it becomes easy for the GIS to find out where it is. So all of you may use Google Earth or nowadays Google Map. So whenever you enter any name all that long, you find the places, isn't it? Because this is the ability of GIS. Because of GIS, we are able to see this. We are able to see the locations. Now, suppose we have a condition where it is. Suppose this is the map. Now you need a bedroom, 4-bedroom, which is made up of wood and also less than $2 lakh. So first you have to search where there is 4-bedroom in this area. So these are the 4-bedroom apartment here. Again, which are made up of wood. Now the second condition is made up of wood. Now the pink color shows here that this apartment are made up of wood. Again, you have put in condition of it should be less than $2 lakh. Now the blue color is showing that the apartment are less than $2 lakh. Now finally we get the result. This result shows that this apartment are 4-bedroom made up of wood and less than $2 lakh. So it became easy with the help of GIS. Now trends, what has changed since? Now what has been changed? In the left you will see the city in 1950 and in the right you will see the city in 2010. So both the images are from same place, but you can see what have been changed. Earlier there was vacant places everywhere, but now it has been full. So it became easy to see the change detection with the help of GIS. Now pattern. what special pattern exists? Now, what type of pattern exists? Suppose there is in a city there is always a road accident or road accident prone area. There is an accident prone area. Now, where it is? Now, if you see with the help of GIS, you may see that in the four-way and the accident is more. So you can take precaution to stop the accident. So with the help of GIS, it became easy. Now modeling. What if? Now suppose you want to put in a water plan for bottling. So first of all, you have to see where the market is, the road communication, the groundwater level. So if you put a model with the help of GIS, it becomes easy to find out these conditions, where there is a groundwater, where is a good groundwater level, where their communication is also easy, where the market facility is also there. So it becomes easy when you put a model with the help of GIS. Special query. Now you can have a special query. What special link exists? Suppose these are the schools in an area. You want to know which one is the high school. So in the second image, you will see this portion is the big red portion is the high school. So again, you need an apartment near the school. So these are the apartments near the school which are to be sale. Again, you need a query that you want to know the query that how many apartments are there near half kilometer of the school. So this is the answer. So with the help of GIS, it became easy to find out like these queries. Now there are some principle of GIS. The first principle is to capture data. So data are mainly obtained from manual digitization and scanning of aerial photographs, paper maps, and existing data sets. The data may be satellite data, aerial photos, analog maps, reports, field data. From everywhere you can collect the data to get the better information. Again, the data management and update. So we manage the data. In GIS, we manage the data. In GIS, data security, data integrity, data storage and retrieval, and data maintenance ability are there. So we can save the data. Unless you delete, it will never corrupt or never lose. So that is the capability of GIS, geographic analysis. So we can analyze or interpret qualitatively and quantitatively with the help of GIS. Here we can do modeling, statistical analysis, overlaying, buffer analysis, and many more. So the last one is the preparing of visual. So here some people may think that the GIS people always produce maps, but it is not correct. We not only prepare maps, we prepare graph, table, images. So variety, we use GIS technology in varieties to collect, it means variety to show the information to the people. So the thing is that GIS, the main thing is that GIS begins and ends with the real world. We collect the data from the real world, we input it, we then manage the data, we analyze it, and after analyzing, that users will again implement in the real world. So it is a cycle. So GIS, if you see, is a cycle which begins and ends with the real world. again, there are 5 components of GIS. So, the hardware. First of all, the hardware. In hardware, it combines of computer, plotter, printer, everything which is related to hardware. And after that, the software. The software, there are several software nowadays in GIS. ArcGIS, AirDAS, these are some of the costliest software. Again, we have some free software such as QGIS, R, GRASS, NV. These are some of the free software which are freely available online. And the third one is the data. So for GIS people, we always need data. If we don't have this data, we cannot do any GIS work. So data is the main component. And the method, what type of method we use? What type of method we use for better result? So the methodology is if we use a scientific methodology, then it will be helpful for future generation also, or it will be. Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir, please resume your presentation.
My presentation is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're
Yeah,
audible, sir, and your presentation is fine, sir.
You're seeing my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
We can see your presentation, sir. Yes, sir. We can see your presentation.
Sir, no, you have to resume your presentation, sir. Someone else has presented that, sir.
Some Raju.
Yes, so sir, you have to resume presentation.
Okay. Now you can see. Hello. Now you can see or not? Now you can see the presentation.
Not yet, sir. It's showing as it's presenting.
Yes, sir. It is presented.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's presenting now, sir. Yes.
Okay, fine. So I will again go to hardware. Hardware, we have 5 components in GIS. The first one is hardware. The computer, plotter, printer, everything which are related to hardware are in this category. And several nowadays, some of the software which are paid are ArcGIS, AirDAS, and some of them are also free. Actually, several free software nowadays. QGIS, R, GRASS, and Google Earth. You can use Google Earth also as to prepare GIS maps nowadays. And data. After that, data. So data, anything we get from any information to collect to give an information, we need data. So data is also important in GIS. And a method. What type of method you use? The methodology is important because if we use scientific methodology, it will help for further investigation or further analysis. And for all, the most important, the people. So we need people who handle the software to implement the GIS result to the real world. So the people is also very important. Now there are literally thousands of applications of GIS. So we use it for environmental and natural resource management. So whenever we do a mapping of forest scenes or habitat density of any natural elements, so we use GIS there. For urban and regional management nowadays, you can see smart city projects are going on all over the world. So they are using GIS for better result. So infrastructure management, in various fields, in airport, industry, everywhere they are using GIS. For commercial purpose, we are using Uber, Swiggy, everywhere GIS is used. These are the places where GIS is used extremely. In defense purpose. So in defense, if you see in defense, GIS is a very important component nowadays. So if you know, in 1998 there was a war between India and Pakistan, which we call Kargil War. At the time, the GPS system was not ours. At the time, we are using the GPS system from at the time we used the GPS system from United States, but during the war they have stopped giving the signal to our soldiers. So since we don't have our own GPS system, it became difficult for us. So we have now, but at the time we don't have. So it is a very important application for defense purpose. For transportation, nowadays everyone is using GIS for transportation. Anyone who want to go anywhere in the world use Google Map, which is a GIS application. After that, we're going to Global Positioning System, or GPS. So, Global Positioning System, satellite-based radio navigation system designed to provide accurate positioning information. Now, GPS is designed to provide accurate positioning of a location. Now, originally GPS was developed as a defense system by US Department of Defense to simplify accurate navigation. So, originally GPS was developed by US Defense to get the accurate navigation. So, civilian of the use of this satellite system was authorized and widely used worldwide. Nowadays, civilian can use this satellite system and it is authorized and it is used widely worldwide. So the present system, so we still use this Napster, which the full form means navigational satellite timing and ranging global positioning system. It is of 3-dimensional measurement system based on satellite system, and GPS uses satellite receivers and computers to locate position anywhere on the earth. So if you see the history of GPS, in 1969, Defense Navigation Satellite System, DSNS, formed, and in 1970, NASA Global Positioning System developed. In 1978, first 4 satellite launch, and in 1993, 24 satellite launch. Now it has initial operational capability, but it was not initially it was operational, but from 1995 it was fully operational. But still it was not given to the civilian. It was given to the civilian on May 2000 with a military accuracy, which means there was an error of 100 meter or 200 meter from the location. If you put a place, you may get the place with an error of 100 to 200 meter at that time. But from 2007, it is free. It is now, we don't have now military accuracy. We are getting it clearly nowadays. So there are several operational and developmental satellite space-based system in different countries. Some of the operational are GPS from United States, GLONASS from Russia, and some of the developmental are Galileo, Compass, or we can IRNSS from India, QZSS from Japan. Now we are going to see some of the facts of our IRNSS. So IRNSS full form is Indian Regional Navigation. So I have earlier said that it was developed. It was first come to field when our late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee has first announced this IRNSS system because of the Kargil war. So earlier we don't have system, now we have system. So IRNSS is planned to be an independent regional navigation system covering an area about 1500 kilometers around India. So it is covering an area of about 1500 kilometers. We have 7 satellite constellations. It will provide 20 meter accuracy over the Indian Ocean region and below 10 meter accuracy over the India and adjacent countries. So this is the image. This is the image. Here, how it will work. So here you will see there will be 3 geostationary satellites at an altitude of at a latitude of 34 degree, 83 degree, and 131 degree east, and 4 geosynchronized satellites at 29 degree inclination with and will cross in 55 degree to 111. So if you see, the geostationary will be the fixed satellite in 34, 83, and 131.5, and the geosynchronized will move like an number 8, in the 55 degree and 111 degree east longitude. So there are 3 segments of GPS. Hello, am I audible now? Are you hearing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're audible.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Audible.
Okay. So there are 3 segments of GPS. The first one is the space segment. Second one is control segment, and the third one is the user segment. So in the space sector, in the space segment, there will be the satellites, and in the control segment, master station, a monitor, ground antennas are there, and the user segments are the users, people like you and me. So in space segment, there are 24 second generation production satellites with 6 orbital planes There are 6 orbital planes with 4 satellites in one or each orbit. 4 satellites on each, equally spaced. They are equally placed. And all the satellites are 55-degree inclination to the equatorial plane. It is of 20,200 kilometer altitude. It is 24-hour coverage with 3D worldwide, and the velocity of the satellite is approximately 4 kilometers per second. Now, from any place, any remote place of the Earth, anytime we can see 5 to 8 satellites. So if you see the picture, this is the picture. You can see the satellite, how it is placed. Everyone is related. So the control segment. We have one master control system. One master control system. 5 monitoring stations. 3 ground antennas. Satellite health and are maintained and monitored. Satellite orbits are determined and safe. So if you see the master control system is in Colorado Springs. Master control system are in Colorado Springs, and the monitor station are in Hawaii, Colorado Springs, Cape Canaveral, Ascension Island, Diego Garcia, Kwajalein. And the ground antennas are in Cape Canaveral, Ascension Island, Diego Garcia, Kwajalein. These are the master control system, station, monitor station, and ground antennas. So the satellite tracking station on Hawaii look like this one. So at last, the user segment. The user segment are the GPS receivers. So every GPS receiver are the users, antennas, computer, processor, land, sea, and airborne operator. Every seat nowadays, almost every smartphone, all airplanes, helicopters, any airborne operators are using GPS for correct positioning. So primary function of GPS, now first of all, the primary function of GPS is to collect the position and coordinates. And the second one is to see the distance and direction between any 2 waypoints, or a position and a waypoint. Traveling progress report. So travel and progress reports are also done with the help of GPS nowadays. And there are several functions of GPS which may be important to all of us or not. In some of the developed countries, they use GPS for fishing and outdoor activities. But in our country, it is less used for fishing and outdoor activities, but we use it for field survey, for getting exact coordinates. We use GPS. So what are the applications? Now here you will see that GPS is used in emergency service. So whenever there is a emergency, if there is an earthquake, so to get the location we use GPS. For quick action, we use it for military, for natural resource management, in the field of remote sensing and GIS, social science, surveying and mapping become easy with the help of GPS. Transportation, urban planning, watershed management, everywhere GPS is used nowadays. So what is waypoint? Yeah. So whenever you put a location in GPS, it is called as waypoint. A waypoint is based on coordinates entered into a GPS receiver's memory. It can be either a safe point, fixed, or user entered coordinates. So you can also enter in the GPS. So it can be created for any remote point on Earth. It must have a receiver designated code or number or a user supplied name. So you can name a waypoint, you can create a waypoint, or you can save, or if you don't do like this, then GPS automatically can collect the coordinates whenever you own it. Once entered and saved, the waypoint remains unchanged in the receiver's memory until edited or deleted. So this is a very important thing in GPS, that if you don't change or delete, it will remain forever. So the GPS have that quality. So we use waypoint for navigation route. Hello, are you getting my hello? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Presentation is going on or not? I have changed the page, but it is
Yes,
not
sir.
changing.
It is visible, sir. Visible, sir.
No, presentation is not visible. Maybe not, because I have seen it is not.
Yes, sir.
It is. Presentation is visible, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It is visible now. Your presentation is visible. You just press
Now
F5.
visible. Okay. Okay, fine.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. You just do the slideshow. It will be visible.
Okay, I'm
Yes,
going.
sir. Please just present your screen. We will see then. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It is visible now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is the waypoint, and after that we get this navigation route. Here you will see the star mark at the waypoint. So if we go through this waypoint and create a line, it becomes the route. So we can navigate a route with the help of waypoint, or nowadays we can also track. There is a track button in the GPS through which we can track an area to collect the information. After coming to the lab, if we join all the tracks and the points, we'll get the map. We can get the information like this as a map. So now we are going to show you a GPS. Since we are not in the field, or we are not in the since we use GPS in the field, so since we are going online now, so I cannot show you the real GPS now, but I can show a picture of GPS now. So here, this is the GPS. It is of a Garmin company, and it is a very old GPS. Its name is GPS 3060. In the upper portion, you will see the antenna. In the right and left, you will see out and in. These are the zoom in, zoom out button. the find. Here you will see, you can find anything you have saved. The mark button is to mark a waypoint. After marking the waypoint, we enter it with the help of enter. The quit button is to go back or return. The menu button is the button for where we will find the GPS menu, and the page where we will see several pages which are there in the GPS. So it is similar in every GPS. So though it is the old GPS, but if you see the modern GPS also, there may be joystick, but it is similar. They have not changed. It is similar. So this is the front view of a GPS, and this is the back view of a GPS. Here 2 AAA battery is needed here, and this black portion where we can collect the data from the GPS. So this is a data set we use generally in the survey. For as when we use GPS, the WP means the waypoint elevation. You can get elevation with the help of GPS. Now the third name is accuracy. So accuracy is a very important thing in GPS. Since every GPS may not be so much accurate, because the cost also matters. So nowadays we have GPS whose accuracy is 3 meters, which means the point may be in the circumference of the 3 meters. It may not be that point. Whenever you take the GPS point, it will be around 3 meters. Or if the accuracy is 10 meters, then the point will be around 10 meters. So this accuracy is therefore needed whenever we put a data set number. Again, you will get long time, date, and other remarks where we put place name or something like that. So yeah, I have finished. Thank you for your attention. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
yeah.
sir, for your
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
We are really glad to have you here, sir.
Okay,
Sir, now
thank
we
you.
would like to put forward some questions from our participants. Are you there, sir?
Okay. Yes,
Hello?
I am there. Hello, are you hearing me?
Now, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah, I am.
Hello?
Yeah, I am ready. Yes. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Are you hearing me? Hello. Are you hearing me or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir,
We
we
are
can
hearing
hear
you.
you. We
Yes, sir.
can hear you, sir. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So please, if you have any question.
The question
Thank you, sir.
is GPS signal slow at place with dense trees?
Hello, I am not hearing. Hello. Sorry, I am not hearing.
The question is, hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I am. Okay.
Sir, can you hear
Yes.
me? Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, I am hearing.
The question is,
Yes. Okay.
is GPS signal slow at place with dense trees? Can you hear me, sir? Hello?
No, I am not. No, I am not hearing clearly. Not hearing
Sir?
clearly.
Sir, can you hear me?
Clear.
Hello?
I am not. Hello. I am hearing you, but not
Sir,
clearly.
can you hear me clearly? Hello?
Yeah. Okay, now. Hello.
Sir, am I audible? Yes, sir. Am I
Hello?
audible to you now?
Yes.
Am I audible to you now?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Am I
am
clear?
hearing you. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I was telling that first of all, thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful participation, for your wonderful presentation. It was really nice having you here.
Okay, thank you.
And so I would also like to thank the participants. They have bared so much with us. They have bared so much with us because of our technical glitch. Thank you so much, participants, and thank you so much, sir. The first question is GPS a remote sensing? This question is by Latifa Yasmin. Is GPS a remote sensing? The question is by Latifa Yasmin. Did you hear the question, sir?
Okay. So GPS, yes. Yes, I'm hearing. Yeah, GPS is used as remote sensing. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Actually, we
yes, sir.
We use GPS to collect the coordinates. Hello? To collect the coordinates of a place. So
yes, sir. We can hear
hello?
you. Really?
Yeah. So we use the GPS to collect the coordinates of a place. So so we can use it as remote sensing and GIS also. Sometimes it is remotely with the help of some other devices like Google Earth. Whenever that at the time we don't go to collect the GPS point from that from Google Earth only, and whenever we need to go to the field, we use as a field, means for tooth collection we go to field. So that time it become it is not as a, we don't use as a remote sensing. Hello, are you hearing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you clearly. Thank you. And so we have another question, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dear speaker, could you tell us the best free GIS software for economics, especially for poverty and land distribution and other economic analysis, by Dr. Mohapatra? Did you hear my question,
So,
sir?
yes, I have heard. So he can use QGIS. He can use QGIS. So QGIS is totally free and it is always developing. So he can use QGIS.
Okay. Another question is GPS signal slow at place with dense trees? This question is by Jyotima Nath.
No. If you have a better GPS, if you have a very good GPS, then the canopy of the forest will not disturb you to collect the information. So the GPS, if you have a very good GPS, then you will get the information from anywhere.
Okay, sir. Another question is by Karen Basumatari. Can we draw a new route of our own using GIS?
Yes,
you
can
question,
draw
sir?
because yeah, I have got. You can draw because the digitization part is done by us only, so you can draw anything.
Okay, so Jyotima Nath asks a question that is, sir, out of topic question. I am curious. Can GPS be attached to humans? In fact, even I'm curious. Can GPS actually be attached to humans?
Till now, I have not seen like this, but yeah, those robots are there. Some of the robots are there where GPS are fixed, but still, from in my information till now, I have not got such human. Okay, now yeah, in future we may, but now it is not. Still, it.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Yes, we can hear you,
Hello,
sir.
yeah, I am here.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Oh, this
okay, so now we cannot. Hello?
Yes, sir, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so it is not available still now, But yeah, in near future, maybe GPS will be attached to our human body, but now it is not. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, this was all for the questions. And oh yeah, sir, we
Okay.
have one more question by Tanya Puri just now.
Oh.
What are GPS codes? What are GPS codes?
So GPS codes are the name. Yes, I am hearing. GPS codes are the names. You can means GPS. You can put yourself, or it is generated with the help of GPS also. So you can put it for your of your own also. So the GPS codes are nothing but the number, serial number.
Another thing is by Bishwajit Bishwas, that is how to use GIS in biodiversity fieldwork.
So in biodiversity, the huge amount of GIS is used. So for forest diversity mapping, for forest change mapping, everywhere GIS is used. So in natural management, highest amount of GIS has been used till that. So you can use GIS, means there are various applications, various processes. So these are nowadays freely available in YouTube also. You can search on if I get some time, more time, or face-to-face interaction, then I can show you.
Sir, another question by Gulenur Ume Anina. Does GPS work everywhere?
Yes, GPS work everywhere. From any remote part of the world, it will work. The main problem is that it should not have cloud at that period. If there is no cloud, if the sky is clear, then you will get the GPS signal from anywhere of the earth.
Okay. Another question is by Joginder Kukreja, that is difference between GIS and GPS.
So GIS is the system is the GIS, and GPS is only a receiver, or it's from the means it is a receiver. GPS, a global positioning system, is a part of GIS, but the GIS is the whole system. Means the remote sensing, GIS, everything includes GIS. So, and GPS is only a one part of that GIS.
Okay. Another question by Agni B. Chetri. How can we use GPS for land survey? How it functions?
So for land survey, it is very easy. Whenever you on it, on the GPS, it become if you use the GPS with the means whenever you go to the field, if you on a GPS, it become easy because you can track it. You can collect the points. So for field survey, GPS is a very important thing nowadays. To collect all the information, it become easy with the help of GPS. So if you see in any field survey, nowadays GPS is used because it helps to collect the information correctly without any error.
Sir, now we have another question, that is why geology is not given preferences by government to include it in high and higher secondary schools of Assam.
Now this is a very critical question. It is because I'm not a person from government. So yeah, it is a very important subject. I also believe it is a very important subject. But yes, I hope in future they will definitely give chances or definitely use geology as a subject in our high schools and colleges.
Okay, sir. Another thing is someone spread rumors. Another question is someone spreads rumors that GPS is attached with Aadhaar card. Is it true? Sir, did you get my question? Hello? Sir, can you hear me? Am I audible? Is like they heard that GPS is attached with the Aadhaar card. Is it true?
Hello, are
Hello,
you
sir.
hearing me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please say now.
Okay,
Yes, sir, we are
I'm
getting
hearing
you.
you.
Yes, sir.
So GPS is not attached to any Aadhaar card or 2000 rupee note. It is a rumor.
Okay, sir. Another question by Latifa Yasmin. Is GPS a remote sensing? We've done this. Well, rumors are like quite, I don't know, rumors are quite possible at that time. One question is by Jyotima Nath, that is, GPS is used in marked and recaptured theory, is it? Do we use GPS in marked recaptured theory? Hello, sir?
No, not used.
Hello?
Hello, not used.
It's not used, right, in marked recaptured theory?
Yeah.
Does GPS use area code? This question is by Dinesh.
No, we don't use any area code, anything. Yeah, but you can give any name, any name. If you want to give your name, you can also give your name whenever you are collecting a GPS point. But it is not necessary because GPS will automatically generate a code.
Okay. Another question by Chandra Prakash Trivendra. Does anyone know which operations research models do GPS devices use?
Operation model means what type of operation?
The question was like that, just like that. So does anyone know which operations research models do GPS devices use? Mr. Chandra Prakash Trivendra, can you please be a bit more specific or clear, right?
Yeah, I am not actually getting it because there may be several type of operation. So yeah, if he is saying about military operation, yeah, they may use. But if you again you are going to hospital operation, then it is not used.
Okay, sir. Another question by Karen Basumatari. Does the accuracy of GPS coordinates depends upon the types of devices, like low end or high end?
Depends. Hello?
Yes, sir. Does the accuracy of GPS coordinates depends upon the type of devices, low end
Hello,
or
I am
high
not
end?
hearing you.
Like that type of device. Sir, can you hear me? Am I audible? Hello, sir. Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The question was, does the accuracy of GPS coordinates depends upon the types of devices, low end or high end, like that type?
Yes. It depends. Whenever the
Okay.
is also low. So it depends on the cost actually.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. This was all for the questions, I guess. And thank you so much, sir. We had a wonderful and engaging session, and I'm sure the participants must have got their answers clearly. Besides that, sir, thank you so much for taking out your valuable time, and also thank you, sir. You've been like, you tried really hard. Thank you. There were so many technical glitches, yet, sir, you delivered such an engaging and interesting session. We really are very lucky to have you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And we really do hope we get to learn more from you in future. Sir, can you hear me? Hello? Am I being audible?
Yes, I am hearing you.
Yeah. So
yes.
we really hope that we do get to learn more from you in future. We actually have learned a lot today about GPS, GIS, and it was really an engaging session. And I'm sure the participants must have benefited a lot from this session. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out your valuable time for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am, please
Actually, it is my pleasure to be with you.
It was an honor having you, sir.
Yeah, and I hope I'll be there for future also. For if I
Yes, for
if
sure.
I
We
can
would
help.
love to.
Yeah.
Yes, sir,
It's
we would
very
love to learn
valuable
more
and
from you.
okay. I very well.
Hello, please post feedback link, please.
Hello, I'm not hearing again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me? I'm not. Can you hear me? Am I being audible here?
No. Someone is asking
Yeah.
for the feedback link. Please say they will provide the feedback link. Someone is asking for the
To all the
feedback.
participants, I would like to inform you that the feedback links have been provided in the chat box, and besides that, the feedback link will be circulated in the WhatsApp groups too. So please be patient. And sir, thank you so much.
Thank you so
for
much,
being here with
and
us
thank
and
you.
for sharing so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you everyone for bearing with me. There was several serious technical problem. Still, we are there. So thank you everyone, and yeah, I hope in near future again we will meet. Thank you everyone.
Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We really learned a lot, and we hope to learn
Thank
more.
you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Thank
Sir.
you.
And you
Very
answered
useful,
the
sir.
questions as well. Thank you. And to all the participants, thank you so much. We had a very nice and engaging session with all of you. You kept patience with us. Thank you for understanding our technical problems. And besides that, tomorrow we'll be having another session with you in the morning. We'll be having numerous sessions, four sessions tomorrow. So let's just hope to see you all soon.